Today we're going to be making a cute little tea towel. I'm really excited. I found this at Hobby Lobby. It's so cute. It's a little blush gingham tea towel. I believe it's in their spring shop, so it's that brand new little spring section that has just come out, which is giving us all hope that it's gonna get warmer soon, right? So I found this. I thought it was really sweet. I did pre-wash it already. Cricut does recommend that you pre-wash your fabric, so I went ahead and did that. And we're going to be actually layering HTV today, so that's going to be really exciting. So I'm going to be using two different patterns. So not only are we layering HTV, but we're also going to be mixing and matching some patterns, and I think it's going to turn out really fun. So these two rolls actually come in their bloom pack. The bloom pack is 3 rolls, but these are 2 of the 3, and I thought these would be really fun together. So I'll show you my design in just a minute, but before we get there, I'm just going to let you know of a few things that you're going to need to do this project, and then we'll measure our little design out. So you're going to need an easy press or a heat press. You can use a household iron, although I will let you know that I have never had success with that. The easy press is just really, really nice to work with, so I do recommend that. You're also going to need a tea towel. Again, this was from Hobby Lobby. It's 100% cotton. I did pre-wash it. You'll also need a weeding tool of your choice for when we weed out our HTV, and then some scissors. You're also going to need a easy press mat and then a protective sheet. Then you'll also need some HTV of your choice. Again, comes from the bloom pack. It is Cricut. I really like this pattern. I think it's super fun. So that is about it. I also will be using my brayer tool when it's time to apply the HTV to the mat to get cutting. And before we run into Cricut Design Space, let's go ahead and measure. I went ahead and folded the tea towel because I'm going to measure exactly the surface area that I'm going to be working with, which is going to be right down here. So we have about, I'm going to say that's 5.75 by, let's see, it's going to be, I believe the design I'm working with is pretty much square in nature. It is a heart. It's so cute, but it's going to end up being pretty much square in nature. So I'm going to say I don't want my design going any bigger than 5.5. Let's say that. So it's always really important to measure your surface area, because then you're not accidentally cutting anything too big or too small. So when you get into Design Space, it's really quick and simple to measure how big you want your design in, and you can get it right the first time. Okay, let's pop into Design Space, and I'm going to show you the 2 cut files that I'm going to use to create this look, and then we will get to heating up the easy press, and we will talk about layering HTV. Okay, so this is Cricut Design Space, and I am using 2 images that I found. If you go down to the 4th icon on the left, they are in this image category. So you'll just click here, and then you can search for images here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because I already put them into my canvas. You can find them. The names are right here. One is called Scalloped Heart, which is this outlined scallop of a heart, and then the other one is just called Heart. And trust me, when you just search heart, there are a million designs that come up. So that's why I preloaded these. There's just so many options, so I thought it might be easier if I just have them all ready to go for you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be layering these 2. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out of the lighter pattern, if you will. So I am going to, actually I'll just leave it just like that, and then this one is going to be out of the darker pattern. So I'm just going to color code these really quick just so I can kind of differentiate the material that I'm going to be using. So what I'm going to do is they're actually going to go not quite fitting within each other, but close. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to unlock this so that I can kind of play around with it. And again, it's not going to be absolutely perfect, and it's not going to actually it's really not supposed to be, but I'm just going to kind of make them so that they outline each other. So let me just play around with this. That actually is exactly what I'm going for, just like that.
Okay, so once I have those together, I am going to select both of them and then size them. So I did have a width of 5.5 inches on that tea towel, and I have decided that I am not going to go, I'm going to go ahead, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and lock these so that my image doesn't get distorted, because I do like exactly how I like this. So I don't want it to move in height or width alone. I want them to move together. So I am going to make this no bigger than 3.5 inches. I think that's going to be about perfect. So I'm going to size that accordingly, and maybe a little smaller right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit make it, and I am going to actually see if I can, let's see, nope, those are perfect. And they're in the exact spot I need them to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since we are going to be working with HTV or iron-on, you always are going to mirror your image, okay? Even if it's a perfect heart, I know that it doesn't really matter if you mirror this. It's always good just to remember to mirror your image. We're going to hit continue. That way we can select our material. And it's just finding my Cricut via Bluetooth. I probably should just hardwire my Cricut into my computer because I don't move it. So that might be a little project to do this weekend. It's so easy. It's just plugging it in. Okay, there it goes. So we are going to be using patterned iron-on. So I'm going to click that, and default pressure is just fine. Again, it's going to remind us to make sure that mirror is turned on, which we can verify right here. And when we click the other one, we can verify, oops, see right there, we have to turn this one on. So mirror, it's always good to check. Okay, so this one, matte mirror on, and this one, mirror on. Okay, so we've double checked that that's turned on. So it says make sure mirror is turned on, and the iron-on material is shiny face down on the mat. Okay, so we are all ready to cut out. Let's go ahead and do that. First, let's grab our little information from the heat guide. This is the heat guide that is on Cricut.com. It is awesome. So what you're going to do is you're going to select what you're using. Oh, you guys, guess what? I got an Easy Press for Valentine's Day, which is next week, from my husband. It was an accident that he told me. So I'm so excited. It is sitting in a box, and I was asking him if he thinks that I should open it and just test it to make sure it works, which he said lovingly, no, you need to wait till Valentine's Day. So I'm so excited. So I just remembered that when I saw that there. So again, we're going to be using the Easy Press 2 today. So we'll select that. The Easy Press material we're going to be using is patterned iron-on, and then we are going to be putting it on 100% cotton, and we do have an Easy Press mat. So make sure you just click the selections that pertain to your tea towel, what iron-on you're using, what press you're using, and whether you have a mat or you'll be using a towel. So those are my specific selections. I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to tell me that I'm going to preheat to 340. I'm going to also preheat my material. We're going to be pressing for 30 seconds with firm pressure, and then we will flip over the towel and do it for 15 seconds. It also says it is a cold peel. Okay, so we are going to have to be patient and wait for that to completely cool, and then we will peel our transfer paper off. Let's see, other information it's going to let us know is, again, pre-wash without fabric softener. It is recommending that, like I said. And that looks about good. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop back over to the overhead camera, and I will go ahead and get those mats loaded, get everything cut, and then we will get to pressing.
Okay, so we're going to load our mat and get it all ready to cut. Again, it's going to say shiny side down, which is this side, or pattern side down. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And the reason is that shiny side is actually the carrier sheet. It's built-in transfer, or I guess it's transfer at the transfer sheet. It's so, you know how with vinyl you have to use actual transfer paper to put the design on your project. This is actually built in, so you don't have to use any additional transfer paper or anything. It's already there, so that's what that shiny material actually is. So let's just get this down. Again, this is the brayer tool, and it's just nice for getting that down and smooth on the mat. Okay, I have to shuffle a couple things around here. We will get this cutting. This one is going to be the outline of the heart, so it's going to be those little scallop edges. And these are going to be super fast cuts. So this is actually a very, very quick and easy little idea for you guys. Okay, so that is done cutting. So cute. Okay. So put this one over here. Get it cut out in a second. And we'll put the second one down. Again, it's patterned or shiny side down. And make sure you're always looking at your specific iron-on, because some iron-on is placed a different way on the mat. So you're always going to want to look with the specific brand that you're using and make sure that you are placing it the correct way for that brand. And again, this is just the heart, so this one is going to be super fast. Okay, and then we're going to preheat our Easy Press to 340 for 30 seconds. Are the directions. So just preheat it to 340. It looks like it's already preset to do that. My last project must have been the same heat temperature. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out my little designs. It's a little hard to see iron-on. It's not as easy as vinyl to see where the cuts are, so just make sure you're super careful. That way you are not accidentally cutting your design. Okay. And the same with this one. This would actually be a really cute teacher gift if you guys have little ones in the classroom still. My little ones are just starting their little years in the classroom, so I'm always thinking of ideas for teachers. And this would be a good idea because the little design is really quick to weed out, and it's also super fast. So I'm actually making this just for our house. My little girls have a sweet little play kitchen in our playroom. I'll put a link down here. I actually use this print that I used to make my mat. It's Rifle Paper Company, and I used it to, isn't that cute? I always think that's so cute when it preheats. They just thought of everything, especially making a cute little chime. Anyway, I used this same kind of idea and this same paper to create their play kitchen, and it's so cute. So I'll link it down there in case you guys want to see. But I am actually going to make this for their play kitchen because I thought it would be kind of fun, and the colors all just match really, really well. Okay, so let me just move a few things to the side. We're done with this. And another thing is I'm going to remove this mat real quick because it does tend to get really warm even under the Easy Press mat. So it's nice to just have your tabletop and make sure there's nothing under it. Okay, so as for the design, this is how that turned out, and this is kind of the idea I'm going for. I think it's going to be super cute. So I'm just going to place it here for a second just to kind of see. I think that's going to be super fun. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, and again, we're going to be layering two different HTV today, so I'm going to just put my towel just like this. It says to preheat it for 5 seconds, so we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to unfold, and you can see that since I did iron, I did iron this with the Easy Press actually when I was prepping this, so you can see the lines. I don't know if you can see that super well on camera, but I can see it, and that is what matters. So make sure you actually press your tea towel before you're going to apply your design. It gives you those nice lines to use as guides. And I'm going to just go ahead and place the first design down right here. I'll grab my measuring tape because I actually really do want to make sure this is spot on. Okay, so this is about an inch and almost an inch and a half. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not joking. That is absolutely dead center. I'm not even kidding. Okay. Trust your eye. Okay, so that's ready. I'm not going to fiddle with it because it's perfect. And I'm going to place my protective sheet on over it, and I'm going to go ahead and press. So it did say firm pressure, so I'm going to try to use the little muscles I have. This turned out even better than I thought. Well, I can't say anything yet because it's not completely done, but just seeing the little pattern pieces together, it's super cute. I love mixing patterns. I think it's super, super fun. I also think it's kind of farmhouse or vintage looking, which I guess those are two really different things, but maybe vintage is what I'm trying to think. Okay, there's that. Be careful of your protective sheet. It gets super hot. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, that looks great. I'm going to go ahead and let this cool because I am going to peel this up before I apply the next one. That looks really good though. I'm not sure if this really works, but it makes me feel like I'm doing something, I guess. Okay, so this is cool. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this up. And it looks great. Okay, so because I'm going to be using this, and it already has a carrier sheet on there, I'm going to just place that right on top, and I'm not going to need this anymore. If I was going to be placing this anywhere else and placing, like say right here, and placing the heat press on there, I would want to make sure that I put my carrier sheet back on this design so that it protects the HTV and it doesn't expose it to the iron. So make sure you keep this if your design is going to be different, but since I'm layering this right on top and this already has the sheet right on there, then I can just use that instead. So I'm just going to center this again. And you guys remember, it does say that you do need to flip your design over and then heat it for 15 seconds on the back. So I didn't forget that, but I figured I would just do that once I have both of them down. Okay, so got that exactly where I want it. Whoops. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my sheet back over it and again press firmly for 30 seconds. Okay, perfect. Again, being careful with this protective sheet since it's really warm. Oh, that looks so good. Perfect. Okay, so I can see that there's bubbles forming in this smaller circle, and that has, or I'm sorry, the smaller heart, and that has been pressed twice. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the larger one more time to make sure that that gets just adequate time to form those little bubbles in there. I'm going to do that one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and let it cool. I'm actually going to go get some coffee real quick because I tend to just sit here and wait for it to cool, and you know how that is. It's like waiting. It's like microwave minutes. Microwave minutes take longer than normal minutes, I promise you. So don't sit there and wait for it to cool. Go do something. So I'm going to press this, and then I'm going to run upstairs and get some coffee, and then by the time I get done, it'll be cool, and we will be ready to move on. All right. Oh, that looks really good, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over, and we'll do the 15 seconds on the back. There we go. Okay. And now I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to allow it to cool. So again, that's a completely cold peel, so you're not going to want to peel that right away. So be patient. Oh, that was just the timer, so we're all good. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some coffee. You guys grab some coffee, and we'll meet back here. Okay. Well, with the magic of filming, I'm sure that didn't give you guys enough time to get coffee, but I got my, what we like to call my creamer with my coffee, and oh my gosh, it's so good. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and peel. It looks perfect, you guys. That's spot on. I have to say, and I am not like paid to say this or anything, I think that the Easy Press is worth every penny. My husband got this for me for Christmas, because I tried one time with my mom to do iron on with a household iron. I think I've told you guys this before. It was awful. It was like melting. It was, and you guys, this is expensive stuff to work with. So we were like kind of freaking out a little bit because we had already paid for our HTV or iron on, and it was like just really tricky to get the iron to do it. Like the iron was doing it, but it was like getting too hot. Anyway, it was just kind of a mess. So, you guys, again, I am not paid to say this, but this is just worth it because you're gonna pay a lot of money for your material, and you might as well get your project right the first time. So, just a public service announcement about the Easy Press. It is definitely getting a million thumbs up at my craft table. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and refold that. You guys, it's cute. It's cute. I love it. Okay, let's move this guy out of the way. We are all done with him. So sweet. What do you guys think? Okay, so that is how you're going to layer HTV. And you guys, I say iron on and then I say HTV. It's all just one and the same, I'm pretty sure. So just make sure that when you're doing it that you are making sure that you always have that little carrier sheet over your design when you're using the iron-on. Even if you've already pressed it, make sure that whenever you go to reapply heat that you are placing that carrier sheet back over that just to protect the vinyl from the heat source. So just that's kind of going to be one of your saving graces. So again, this was the bloom pack. It's so cute, and this was Hobby Lobby. It all turned out really good. I love how the patterns all mixed. Again, I'll show you guys a link down below to that play kitchen. It's so cute. We love it so much. We've had it, gosh, almost like 3 years. So fun. So it's like every day, it gets everyday use. So make sure you guys give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my coffee with a little bit of quiet before everybody wakes up today. And make sure you guys subscribe because I just did my craft calendar for March. It's going to be super fun. And you guys, we have Easter coming up. It is coming up in like, well, I guess we have 2 months, but in the crafting world, that doesn't give us a lot of time because there are a million ideas for Easter. So go ahead and make sure you guys hit subscribe because I have so many cute things coming up. I've done all of my hauls at the craft store. Everything's just kind of lined up and ready to be filmed, and it's going to be super, super fun. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this.